By the look of my coffee, we are seeing that I'm recording this way later than I wanted to. I'm trying something new today. I pulled out the other camera, okay? The one with the better quality. For those of you who watch, I wanted it to be quality for you. But I also have a side angle, so hey, side angle. I think that it's just going to be a really cool little mix up for the podcast. So, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cozy Girls Club podcast. My name is Michaela, and this is just a club of cozy girls wanting to live a cozy lifestyle. And I'm so excited that you are here and that you're joining. If this is your first time, welcome. You're a part of the family already. This episode, I'm really trying all things new way of recording, new format, new space, new everything. I just want to see how it goes. I'm definitely just trying something out, experimenting, because that's what us content creators do. I want to talk about a milestone that I hit. We are officially 1.1K on YouTube. And that is such a big deal to me because if you put that many people in a room, having that many people want to listen to you and want to hear what you have to say is just really cool and really amazing. And I am very, very thankful to everybody who listens and who tunes in week after week. I just think that it's so amazing when you have a community like that. And speaking of community, I am in the works of creating something for you. Let's just say it. I'm creating merch, okay? I'm creating merch. I've been trying to hold it and be oh, this isn't coming, whatever. If you're listening to this episode, you're the first to know that I am in the process of creating merch. Right now, the designs are done. I am literally just setting it up and getting launch day and everything ready for you. So I'm so excited. This is going to be so amazing. I can't wait. It's just one of those things where when you create it, you're wow, I actually have a community of people that want to listen and see this. So that is just really cool, really amazing. And I'm so excited about that. So keep an eye out for that. So this episode is about incorporating cozy living and slow living into a busy schedule. And instead of just giving you a list of tips, I thought that I would just kind of share from my own life, what I've done to incorporate the cozy living, the slow living in my life. Because as much as I romanticize my life and I make it look like I have all the time in the world, which is not true at all. It's just a reminder that social media is a highlight reel, and I'm 100,000% letting you know that my social media is a highlight reel. It's to inspire other women to live this cozy lifestyle that is so near and dear to my heart. I love not to be in a rush. I love being able to enjoy what I'm doing in the moment that I'm doing it. I also just really like not having to feel like I have to be uncomfortable all the time. There are times where you have to step outside of your comfort zone, but being uncomfortable all the time and being in this rush state all the time and literally not even being able to think it for anything is just not it. So I just wanted to share a little bit about how I overcame this. You guys know that I am an entrepreneur. I've run a couple of different businesses, smaller businesses. When I say small business, I feel like we think, oh, support small businesses. Yes, though they are smaller than a Target or Walmart, they're pretty big. There are, I guess we can call them micro businesses. There's people that are really trying to make a living off of the things that they enjoy. And so I definitely ran a couple of these micro businesses, and running a business is not for the weak at all. It is definitely a challenge, and it definitely keeps you busy. So for me, I am running a freelance video editing business for content creators at the moment. I am also a content creator myself, so I am trying to make sure that I stay on top of my content while also catering to my clients' content, and it is a lot and it keeps you busy. And I promise you that I'm working 40 hours a week. Okay. So it's like a full-time thing. However, because I am able to work for myself and I work from home, I've implemented little things in my life to make me feel like I'm not rushing around and I am not only working. Like, I don't want my life to feel like I'm only working to work. I want my life to feel like I'm working to live. And so what I've done is, because I work for myself, I'm able to set up my schedule to where I can have the slowest morning ever. And I've talked about my slow mornings and how I really cherish my slow mornings. But for those who aren't able to create that morning like I am, that aren't able to have a 3-hour morning routine because they have to be at work at a certain time, or they have kids, or whatever the case may be, I've realized since living this cozy lifestyle, this slow living lifestyle, that it's really not about the time. It's about what you choose to do with your time. I've learned that, yes, I could have 3 hours in the morning, but if I'm laying in bed on my phone for those 3 hours, or I'm doing something super unproductive for those 3 hours, I don't feel like I'm living a cozy slow living lifestyle. I feel like I'm just being drained before I even get out of bed. And I think that we see on like social media, and I know I've done this too, where I'm like, oh, spend a cozy day with me, and I'm lighting candles and I'm sitting at my desk working and I have a blanket on my lap. And yes, those feel cozy, but at the end of the day, I'm still working. I can only make my space as cozy as I can, but I'm still working. So it's just implementing little cozy things that make you feel good while you're doing the things that might not make you feel as good. I thankfully love what I do. I truly, truly appreciate all of my clients, all of my listeners. So yes, I've implemented these little cozy moments in my life, like lighting a candle when I work or turning on the fireplace. Oh, I turned it off. I turn on the fireplace while I work, or when I'm recording, I might have like a little coffee next to me to make me feel like I'm being even more cozy. But at the end of the day, I'm still working. So I have to just implement those little cozy moments into my life. So if you are a busy person and you're like, how in the world am I supposed to live cozy? I'm always on the road. I'm always doing something. Like, find those little things that make you feel cozy. One of my favorite things to do when I was traveling alone, I went to school 4 hours away from the rest of my family. So anytime I would go to visit them, I had the coziest drive ever. Okay. Listen, this is what I did. And if you fall asleep at the wheel, don't do this. If you are one of those people that cannot keep your eyes open while you're driving, don't do this. But for me, I'm aware that I am behind the wheel. I will not fall asleep. What I do is have a blanket, especially in the wintertime when it's cold. Oh my gosh. I have a blanket over my lap. I have a nice little coffee, a nice little snack. I find podcasts and books and things that I would want to listen to on the ride there and kind of put them in this playlist. And I would just be driving. It was like the coziest little thing ever. So there's always ways to implement that cozy, slow living lifestyle, the lifestyle that just makes you want to romanticize what you do. There's always ways to incorporate it. So mid podcast, like cozy challenge. Okay. For all of you, I'm going to challenge you to try a cozy habit this week. Maybe try doing something without multitasking. Like, let's not try to answer emails while we're on a walk. Let's set intentionality, because that's what slow living is about. That's what cozy living is about. Is about being intentional. For those of you who have busy schedules, 5 minutes out of your day, if your spouse is working or your kids are not home or whatever, take a moment to text them or call them and have an intentional conversation. Like, hey, I miss you. I just wanted to talk to you. Just wanted to update you about my day. Being intentional. Don't call and be like, hey, miss you. I just wanted to tell you about my day as you're emailing, as you're cooking, like be present in the moment with that person. So let me just kind of share like how my day goes, how I would sneak these little cozy moments, these slow living moments into my day as a freelancer, as somebody who works not a 9 to 5, but I work pretty much an 8-hour day. Let's talk about it. Okay. So from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., that is my like cozy morning, slow morning. I'm not rushing. I'm not doing anything. Okay. So I wake up. I will go outside if it's not cold. If not, I'll sit like in my living room. I'll read my Bible. I'll pray. I'll journal. I do this for about an hour. Then at 8-ish, I will start working out. I work out with YouTube. So I'll use like Grow with Joe videos. So those always differ on time. It could be 15 minutes. It could be 30 minutes. So after I work out, I will then shower and then I will make my breakfast and my coffee. And all of that kind of is like me kind of just being slow. I might be like trying on different clothes to wear for that day, even though, girl, we all know you're going to put on a t-shirt and some leggings to work. I'll take my shower. Sometimes I will do my makeup. Sometimes I will wash my hair, whatever. It might be longer. Sometimes it might be a little faster. And then making my breakfast is usually fast. Making my coffee is usually kind of fast. And then I'll just kind of like sit around until 10 a.m. Okay. So I really, 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 really love my mornings. I love my slow mornings. I don't like to rush. Okay. So we're going to keep that in our brain. Michaela does not like to rush. At 10 a.m., I will start work. I'm editing. I'm doing my stuff. Sometimes like I have to sit down and do a podcast. So I'll get that ready. Once I'm done doing the podcast or I'm working, so I might work for about 2 hours. And notice how all of this is kind of ish. It's not like I have hard stops. I'm not putting a sharp end or anything to anything. I'm really just trying to make sure that I have some sort of schedule to like keep myself on track, but there's no like, it has to be this way. After I work for a little bit, 12-ish, I will go on a walk. I'll make my lunch. I'll step away for a little bit. That way I don't run into burnout. I want to make sure that my mind is being refreshed and recharged each and every day. So if you are a busy person and you really can't take an hour to just kind of like recharge, take 5 minutes, take 10 minutes, take 15 minutes, however much time you do have to recharge. You always have a little bit of time before somebody calls you, before somebody says something. You always have that little bit of time. And so filling that with intentional things is better than, oh, I have 5 minutes, let me scroll. Oh, I have 5 minutes, let me do something that's not productive. Like taking those little tiny moments and making them intentional. Intentional is the word, okay, on this podcast. Then I'll come back, I'll work until about 6. And then after 6 is kind of the time where I do whatever I want to do. I might go on another walk, but I also might be scrolling on social media. I will spend time with my husband. I will binge watch TV shows that I like. I'll cook dinner. It's kind of just a jumble of things that need to be done, need and want to be done at the end of the day. It's just like I've been intentional all day. Now is the time to just kind of like relax, except for being intentional with my husband. At 10, I usually am winding down. I'm getting myself like toward the bed. I am not trying to be up all night. I really do try to like be like at 10, I'm going to bed, brushing my teeth, getting ready for bed, reading a book, all the things, and kind of like winding down for the night. And then I do it over again the next day. So that is how I like incorporate the little things. I don't think that it needs to be this like crazy thing where we are so structured in our day that we don't even have time to be intentional about anything. Like I said, you can take 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be an entire day or a whole hour. It could be 5 minutes to be intentional. And you'll notice the more that you're intentional throughout your day, the more slow living you feel, the more you feel like you're building toward a life that you want to live and that you love living, and you can romanticize it. On my weekends, I really am really unstructured. Like Saturdays, I will sleep till whenever I want to, which is usually the latest I might sleep on a Saturday is maybe 8:30, 9, but I really don't sleep that late. I'll just get up and do whatever I want to do. I will just kind of let the wind take me wherever. I can go out, I can stay in, I can get dressed and ready, I can stay in my pajamas all day. That is just kind of how my weekends are. And how I really encourage everybody to have their weekends is just a time to be unstructured, a time to just live your life, have fun, and do the things that you enjoy. So that is all that I have for you in this episode. I am really hoping that this comes out the way that I want it to. If I'm going to be completely honest, this is my third time recording this episode, and as they say, third time is the charm, apparently, for podcast episodes. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and rate the podcast. It really helps other people see the podcast, but also it just lets them know that this is a good podcast to listen to. There's also a Ko-fi page below where you can buy me a coffee. All of those go directly to this podcast and this channel, and I truly, truly appreciate every single person who chooses to support the podcast in that way. So before I go, I do want to do a check-in. What is one thing that you are going to do this week to implement a cozy living lifestyle or slow living lifestyle? I want to know in the comments below. Let me know. And with all of that being said, until next week, you guys. Bye, everybody.